seen all the trash I'm talking on X about all the Philly radio stations?
I just keep scrolling.
Oh man, I'm trolling big time.
Your name, I just keep scrolling. I'm like,
trolling like I never trolled before.
You are the biggest troll I know. We do have a guest today, which I'm really excited about. He'll be on in a couple minutes. But anything that you have to mention before we get started?
No, I mean, I've just been baseball 24/7. It's been great. I mean, look, it's been great. Hey, it does not come along very often, so I gotta love it while it's here.
I hear you.
That's it. So I'm out of the loop a little bit, which is okay. Right. I'll catch up. It's fine. But after like the McMahon hangover, I've just been so entrenched in this baseball. So I'm excited for this today.
Yeah, well, you enjoy your baseball. I actually was gonna, do my hair, get dressed, and stuff like that. But I started watching Wrestle Dream, AEW Wrestle Dream, and I couldn't stop. And so I ran out of time. So here I am with a wet head. I pulled my hair back. I put on a comfy outfit. I was like, RJ will understand. It's fine. He wants me to always dress in muumuus and look like Mrs. Roper. So this outfit will be fine for him to see me in. But I will say, I did enjoy the pay-per-view. Again, no hatred towards AEW whatsoever. Only part I didn't like, again, is the bag came back. The bag over the head.
Oh,
it came back.
The bag.
And it made me mad because there was a heel turn involved with it. What
happened?
Well, it was so Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. I keep calling him the wrong name. I think this is kind of like his farewell.
Yeah, right.
Match.
I saw that.
I don't think it's going to be his very last match. I guess maybe he's going to go off and take some time to rehabilitate and get the surgeries that he needs, and maybe. I don't know if he's going to be like a part-time wrestler or if he's going to be a coach. I don't know. I don't think he's going to leave. We can ask our guest, when he comes, if he knows anything about it. But they did a deal with him, Moxley, and Moxley got the win, and very, very good match. And I loved it because they kept the music going. They started while Final Countdown was on. I love when they wrestle and the music's blaring, and it's a really, really good match. And at the end, all of John's minions came out, and is it Yuta?
Wheeler Yuta.
Yes, he turned and he put the bag.
Oh no!
Over Brian's head. So yeah. So I mean, did he really have a choice in the matter if Brian's going to leave for a while? Would he have been and they had Darby Allin, like they taped his wrist so he couldn't move, so it was like Darby against everyone, and it was a moment, but it was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it, and I don't know, I'm digging their pay-per-views. I got to start watching more, I guess, of the weekly. But I am a pay-per-view kind of gal right now, and I just keep watching the pay-per-views, and I'm liking them. They had a great crowd. It's good stuff.
I did see one thing. I saw Rico was on one of the hours of the show. I saw Rico.
I saw a clip of that. It was cute. It was cute the way they brought him in. I don't know the logistics behind that either, because he's been out of commission for a really long time. Wasn't he a cop or something?
Yeah, but he also got very sick from what I remember.
Okay.
And I was surprised. I didn't know he was allowed to take a bump from hearing how he was kind of out of the business, but he was a cop in Vegas,
right?
And great callback to the Billy and Chuck not a wedding, it was a commitment ceremony. Everybody keeps saying wedding.
Right.
It was a commitment ceremony.
Yeah.
And
people knew who he was because he got a good job.
Absolutely.
So I was happy for him. Yeah.
Love that. That was cool.
Yes, very much so. If you haven't seen the pay-per-view and you're a wrestling fan, I do recommend it. It was fun. It was entertaining, and I enjoyed it immensely. So that's what I was doing today. And that's why I'm not all dolled up for our guest. But did you send the link?
Yes, I
He's
did.
ready to go. He's texting me profanities like, what's going on? Let's go here. What's happening?
It's a family show. We won't tolerate profanity.
No. Every time he contacts me, he curses. And I tell him, I go,
Hey, look,
what are you
whatever it
gonna curse
takes.
for? Like, I am like peace and love. What are you getting all hyper about?
I
Chill.
believe he was a first-year guest of
Was he
IFFP.
really? It's been a while.
It's either first year or his COVID year. I got to look back in the archive, but I
Yeah?
think he was a first year or COVID year, which is the second year. So
Yeah, for sure.
one or the other, but
Him and
way
I-
early in the run.
We've made so many plans in the last, I don't know how many years that I've known him now. I think I've only met him twice in person, but we've talked several times, like through text, online. He'll pop into my chat. I'll pop into his. Look at that face. All right. Without further ado, it's my handsome friend, RJ City, is back for his second appearance on the show. RJ.
After 20 years, I'm
20
finally
years?
here. Yes.
I was just letting Chad know I was going to get all dolled up for you, but I took a shower right before I made dinner for my family, right?
Thank God. Yes.
But listen, it gets better. And I said, oh, I'll just like turn on the pay-per-view because I started watching Wrestle Dream last night. And I said, I'll just turn on the rest and just watch a little bit and then I'll go get ready. I couldn't stop watching it. So I did not get ready because I was fixated on the pay-per-view. I really enjoyed it. It was a good time.
The Wrestle Dream was so good that I have to bear the brunt.
Of what? Of me saying?
What were you going to get dolled up? What was the outfit? Did you have something in mind?
I wasn't really sure. I was at least going to do my hair. Like I put on a little bit of makeup and then I didn't have time. I ran out of time and I was just like, RJ doesn't care. And so
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm in a very comfy outfit. What I wanted to do was put a muumuu on and a wig.
Right.
I have the muumuu, but I didn't have the wig, and it was incomplete. So I did not.
I understand. Yeah, it would make no sense. But on the other hand, I think it's really nice that Chad got all dolled up for me.
He always does. He always
dolled up. It's a brand new hat. It's a $50 hat. Come on.
Yeah.
That's a fresh hat. That's really nice.
He loves the Mets and the baseball bullshit, and his team is winning, and he's very excited about that.
So let's talk about Three's Company for a minute, because it's my understanding that Don Knotts did so much fucking with people. They would always have like the girl du jour on the show. It's like who's Jack interested in this week?
And that he Beagle or something like
the Regal Beagle, yes. But Don was quite a ladies' man for a guy who just played the same nervous character for like 50 years.
I find it hard to believe.
Well, believe it, because he would always take them to the same hotel, and apparently he went there so often that behind the desk they asked him for his autograph. His autograph picture. It's like, hey, Holiday Inn, great to be here. And then he had to change hotels. Because you can't, if you're taking someone, as you well know, if you're taking a lover to a hotel.
I do not know. Excuse me. Time out.
What? Okay, but I'm saying if you have an 8x10 behind the front desk of a hotel or at a restaurant, you can't take people there.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me that Don Knotts was getting more tail than John Ritter?
Yes, because everyone thought John Ritter was John Ritter was like a straight and narrow kind of guy, one woman kind of man, and Don Knotts was just letting it fly. Why
were the women attracted? Is it because he was on Three's Company? Because let me tell you something. I am not a Don Knotts type of girl. Like Norman Fell.
You were more of an Andy Griffith.
No,
you were Norman Fell. Okay.
Norman Fell. When Norman Fell would give the Iggy to the camera, I would lose my shit. He was the best.
Let's talk about how weird that was. That everyone else was in the sitcom, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna look straight into the camera.
It was so great.
Yeah.
but he was such a, to follow him, I wasn't into Don Knox at all.
Do you know what happened? Do you know about like the Three's Company screw job? Okay, so
because I'll watch it.
Well, let me give it to you now. Let's get the clicks. People are going to be clicking on this for this reason.
We'll use this as one of our leads. How about
yes.
Okay, let's
It's a top story. So the Ropers were very popular. They tested very well, and the executives thought there's a spin-off here of just the Ropers. Norman Fell, Argelini, there's something here. Norman Fell was against it because he saw the writing on the wall. They're the landlords. You can't. It's not all about the landlords. We have nothing there, and they forced him into it. Said it's testing very well. It's going to be great, and we sink a lot of money into it, whatever. And then he said, "Okay, look, I don't want to do this. If you're forcing me to do it, let's do it like this. If after a certain number of episodes, the show gets canceled." Well, like after the first season it gets canceled, then I can come back. Because this is nuts. This is, whatever. He knew exactly what was going.
Okay.
So they do the Ropers. Of course, it's a bomb.
It was terrible.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah. And then they bring in Don Knotts. And Don Knotts does well. I mean, maybe not the same as the Ropers, but they've got Don Knotts here. It's it's a whole new thing. He does karate. He wears the ascots, that whole thing. And whatever it was in Norman Fell's deal, whatever the number of episodes were of the Ropers, they made sure they went over it. So they contractually did not have to bring him back to Three's Company. Yeah. Yeah.
Not even that cute little redhead kid could save that. The Ropers sucked.
No. And then, of course, they did another spinoff when John Ritter got married, and I don't even remember the name of it.
That was worse than the Ropers.
Yeah.
That had to do with her father and mother.
Yes.
I didn't
Three's
like
a Crowd.
her. Three's a Crowd.
Yes.
That was terrible too.
Yeah, really, really bad.
Yeah, but the Ropers has a great theme song, though.
Can you play it? Do we have it?
I mean, I could.
Are we allowed? Will we get?
I'll play it. Oh, I don't care. I'll block it out. You think
we can probably play a
You
snippet of it. But I'm a Norman Fell girl through and through. Like,
yeah,
I'm telling you, like,
Don
Knox ruined the whole thing for me. I'm sorry.
Here, everyone be quiet.
Right, hold on. Here we go.
A nice, why is there a semen stain in the Ropers logo?
Because Don Knox screwed them. Look at her.
Awful.
Oh,
you don't want that. It looks wrong from the beginning.
Look at him. Look at that face.
Come on, look at that.
I love that man. I love him so much. Oh my god. Oh, this guy. Sorry, Very good. Very good, guys. Thank you. Enough. He doesn't listen.
I want to see. Francine, I think you need to get a new shirt, and it says Francine, and then there's the Ropers semen stain.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What could that possibly have been?
I mean,
and why is his toilet always clogged? Like, I've never seen a plunger so often.
Let me tell you, I was a big fan of Three's Company. It was a little before my time. I was a kid when it came on, but I mean, the reruns, I will still watch a good. And really quickly, because I want to talk about you. This is not about Three's Company, but I saw for the first time an episode of Three's Company where Jack Tripper trips out on some kind of drug. Have you ever seen this?
No.
At a party. I don't know who told me about it. It's on YouTube. You're going to I wish you and I can watch it together.
That would be great.
I feel like maybe we should FaceTime and watch it together.
Yes.
He is at a party and I don't know if he drinks something or something happens. He flips out and he loses his mind. And he is like a maniac in this episode. He's got a lampshade on his head. He's running around. He's hitting people. I've never seen it before. I don't know if it aired on the network, he was literally tripping on either acid or drugs or somebody Mickey'd his drink. You have to look it up. It is the best episode I've ever seen in my life.
I always loved, like, especially now going back and seeing like people play high and play drunk. And also anytime they did, the biggest joke was anytime they talked about like Shawn Michaels or the Rockers, like any documentary where they love to party, they would always go to one photo where they had a lampshade on their head.
Jack drinks the rocket. That's it. I was just going to tell you, like, can you look
Drinks the rocket. I'm going to steal that catchphrase.
We can't watch the whole thing here, but it's a whole episode about him. He's so messed up in this episode.
Right.
And
classic drunk.
Yeah. I've never seen this one air. Somebody told me about it, and it's on YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, wow, this is the best episode I've ever seen in my life.
Well, maybe it doesn't air because he clearly got drugged.
Well, no, that's the point of the show.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe they said we should put this one in syndication.
I don't know, but it was the best one they ever did. You have to watch it.
I will send you, when this is done, I'm going to text you an episode of All in the Family that is so wrong. I don't even want to say what happens in it.
Okay, please.
Chad knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I know the exact one.
This is when people were pussies and you could say and do what you wanted and you can enjoy TV and, nowadays you can't say anything. You can't do anything.
That is so wrong. I say things on AEW.
Okay.
I just said bukkake on AEW. I think we're okay.
All right. So I'll open with that. I wasn't going to, but let's open with
bukkake.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Yes, hey.
I'm trying to say it the way you're supposed to say it. Not all of your guests say it correctly. If I was your guest, I'd be like, hey, EW. See?
Right. Yeah.
See?
It's good.
Not everybody gets
really
it.
Good. No.
How did this show come around? Explain the premise.
The premise is every Sunday morning, a different AEW wrestler or personality has to basically suffer through a line of my questioning.
And you're questioning.
Yeah.
Do you do this to pop them? Because they don't know these questions ahead of time, correct?
No. And I will say, testament to them to continue to walk in blindly to this.
Are they required to do this? Is it part of their deal? Is it like a rotation? Like you have to go on RJ show and they're like, I don't want to. He's a tool. And they're like, no, you have to do it. And they're like,
I'm sure some people have been avoiding me.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
There are other people like Taz who said, I'm going to go on there to show him up and make a point and make him work for it. Which is so un-Taz.
Introduced to Taz. So un-Taz.
Right. And then there are people like Jim Ross and Arn Anderson who, God bless them, said yes without really asking what it was.
Okay.
And I think you can tell who has seen the show before and who has never. And like halfway through, they start to figure it out.
Because certain people, now I told you I watch, right?
Yes,
I've mentioned before that I am a fan and I do watch your stuff because you're a friend of mine and I like to support my friends.
Not only have you watched, but, and I do want to apologize, you gave me a story for the Jerry Lynn episode. I did not use it. Sorry.
Devastated. You should have, because his face would have lit up like a Christmas tree. Save it for the next time.
Okay.
Are you going to have him back? Do you encore people?
No, I'm not. I have nothing to do with that man. He's exhausting.
Who, Jerry Lynn?
Yes. Oh, he's so normal and nice. It's like, enough, Jerry. Get over yourself.
All right. So as I'm watching, I'm noticing certain people and how they act and react, should I say. And there are a lot of people who play along with you and will try and one-up you with your witty sense of humor, because we all know RJ's sense of humor by now. And if you don't, you should. And then there's the type who just stare at you like you're sitting on the moon and you have no idea what's going on. That's why I'm asking you, like, the questions. Are you deliberately trying to pop your guest? Because you come up with some of the most obscure references or things that somebody might like. like if he's interviewing you, Chad, he might say, well, in 1984, your mother bought you this doll for Christmas. And it's like, how did you know my mom bought you? My mom bought me this doll for Christmas. You find out the craziest things, and not everything's on Wiki. How are you finding out? Are you like asking people to find out shit for you? And
sometimes, yes. Sometimes people, it gets to the point now where people have passed me stuff and they say, hey, if you're having this person on, you should really talk about this. But I also, like, I hate doing it. As you know, everyone has a podcast and an interview show and whatever. I really suffered through a lot of them for a number of years. And it bothers me. So I feel like if I do have somebody as a guest, it's like the respectful thing to do some research on them and then, find stuff that people don't talk about. There are things that I'm genuinely interested in. And I also think it's like a good showcase for people. Like, you didn't know that Jim Ross had heat with Danny DeVito?
I did not.
Right? So I feel like I'm doing a service. I mean, obviously, like when I have guys on like him, or when I have somebody like Ricky Steamboat and I got him to turn heel, that was like, the best and easy. But then there's other people like the Outrunners or Harley Cameron who don't often get that much time to talk on AEW. And they have very strong personalities. And there's sometimes like a Hey W bump where it's a good showcase of their stuff. And it's like, wow, this person can talk. Kyle Fletcher is another fantastic example.
I like that one. That was a good
I don't think you'd realize he's that funny and that quick and that thoughtful. And it's like, so it's a nice personality piece. But I mean, it's gone about in the most backwards of ways.
So wait a minute. Are you taking credit for them getting a push because they were on Hey?
Yes. I'm the Johnny Carson. If you have a good set on Hey, the next day, it just goes right up. Yeah. But I would also say, Francine, you having spent time with me, people who know me say that Hey is just like talking to me for 10 minutes.
In a way, I was telling Chad before the show, before we started rolling, I said, I feel like I know RJ pretty well, but we've only met in person like 2 times, I believe. I think it's
the first time we met was at some sort of WrestleCon thing with Daphne.
Yes, sir, it was. Yes.
And she remarked, or you remarked, how much I look like Gaston.
That
was a was a real togetherness point for you.
Yes, that brought us closer together. I told you should be character acting. I see RJ at Disney World being Gaston.
Thanks.
I will say it until I die.
Yes, I really want to be sweating under a felt
I'm sorry.
costume. I really appreciate
it. I see it, kid. That's what I see.
And then, when else did we see each other?
Actually, I met you when you were going on an elevator, and I introduced myself, and you said, I know who you are. And I was like, okay, thanks. Thanks. I love when people say that to me. I went up to you.
Yes.
And I said, hi, I'm Francine. Nice to meet you. You went, I know who you are.
Well, it was weird. I was such a fan of your work. You did the thing with the kendo stick. I know all your hits.
The kendo. He always brings the kendo stick into it. I mean, that was my thing. That was my prop. What do you want me to say?
Yes. No, I know.
You enjoyed it? Come on.
Yes, I did. It was fun. I didn't quite understand it at the time.
You were like 4.
But
that's okay.
Yes,
it's fine.
Yes.
Now you get it. So it's
fine. But yeah, you do have to underplay. Sometimes there's people like Ric Flair introduced himself as Ric Flair to me. And like at that point, it's like, all right, you don't have to say anything.
But doesn't that mean that we're not dicks? Doesn't that mean like
for Ric Flair?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
For me,
yeah, right.
Because I'm not Ric Flair. I get it.
Right. Yeah. Very understated of you.
Listen, I introduce myself to everyone because I don't know who is a fan of ECW and who is not.
Right.
There are people out there who don't know who I am. Sometimes I go to these indie shows and they don't even look up their lacing. They don't even look up at me. And so I say, hey, I'm Francine. How are you? There's no lie in that.
No.
No one says hi anymore. No one introduces themselves. So I walk around and I say hi to everyone. 17-year-old snot-nosed kid. Hi, I'm Francine. How are you? Doesn't hurt
And then
anybody.
do you make them Google you afterwards if they don't know who you are?
I just say, have a great match. It was great to meet you. And I walk away.
Good stuff.
That's what I do.
I do. Sometimes I don't know if I've met someone before.
Yeah, and
so
you say, nice to meet you. And they go, I met you, blah, blah, blah. And I go, nice to see you again. I just switch it up.
So you have to say, nice to see you.
Yes, I know. But it comes out too quickly. Sometimes I'm just like, nice to meet you. And then I go, oh, I met you 5 times already. Well, it's nice to see you again.
Hello, how are you? Could be a really considerate first time. Could be a decent follow-up.
But not, I know who you are. That, to me, was just like, all right, kid, fine.
And yet, here we are.
And here we are.
Right?
We've come such a long way.
Such a long way.
Such a long way. So now that you have, are we not allowed to do coffee in my underwear anymore?
I do coffee and underwear every Sunday morning still.
Why do I not get a notification anymore?
I don't know. What's wrong with you? I'll send it to you. It's on YouTube. I do it on YouTube.
I gave you a super chat before on YouTube.
Yes. So what's your? I think you've turned notifications off for me. I think is my understanding.
I don't think I did, but I haven't gotten a notification in a really long time, and that's why I thought maybe you're not allowed to do it anymore. But
no. AEW remarkably has been hands off with every other stupid thing I do.
Okay. Well, this isn't stupid, but let me ask you this question. What happened to Meal in a Match? Because I watched the first episode with Eddie Kingston. Yeah. And it was cute. It was a cute concept. I liked it. And then it was like
great question. Thanks. And it leads me into a nice plug. As announced last week, there are going to be more episodes of Meal in a Match. Episodes, multiple episodes.
I missed
we teased it. What did we do? There was a picture. It was a whole thing. Here, hold on. Let me find it. It's there. We're slowly rolling it out, but they put up the slate. See, Meal in a Match coming soon.
See, I like
this whole thing.
Okay, what was the hiatus about? Was there a production? Not enough food, not enough catering on the set.
We had. Renee and I had come up with the idea and pitched it for a while. It takes a while to make things happen. And we did that one as basically a pilot to make a demo and to show it to people to get more greenlit. So we filmed all day with Eddie Kingston and we ate a bunch of food. And it was just because we didn't know what we were going to do with it. So here's a bunch of options. You can cut it into whatever. And they liked it so much, they said, let's put it out as the first episode. So it says like new series, episode 1. And it's like, maybe we shouldn't have done that until we had others in the can.
Why? Did it come off poorly?
No, it was good. It was just they used it to get more episodes out, to get more episodes made. So it took a while, these network things and whatever.
Okay.
And we were like, maybe you shouldn't have put it out until we had a schedule of more episodes.
Oh, okay. So you want more in the can so you can keep the ball rolling, so to speak.
Right. So now we do have more episodes. Nice. More than one episode that we have. So that feels nice. When they come out, I don't know. Definitely before the end of the year. Okay. We shot them a couple weeks ago. And I will say, I don't want to get into what we ate or with who, but the next day, Renee threw up 3 times.
No, did she have food poisoning?
I don't think she had poisoning. I think it was just a, real bad combination. Yes, gluttony.
Because are you filming like 3 or 4 in a row that you have to keep eating consistently?
Yeah, and not only that, it's like you got the food there for longer than you would eat the food for.
Oh.
So it's a balance.
What the ingredients are too, that can get you something sitting there for a couple hours. And
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there's hot lights.
Yeah, it really is. Well, I'm glad because I said to myself, that's one of the questions I want to ask him because I did enjoy that episode and it was gone.
Yes.
And I was just like, I will do you one better.
they have, for some reason, sunk some sort of money into this, and they built us a brand new custom set. Last time we filmed it at a bar in Texas. Now they built a set.
Wow.
How about it?
That's how you can tell that the company is on the up and up.
Right?
Very good. I want to mention you and Renee have really good chemistry together. Did you know her prior to this gig?
So she is from Toronto. So she grew up like 40 minutes from me, but she's like, I'm going to make her sound ancient now, and she's not. But she was like of a generation before mine. She knew a lot of comedians. We had a lot of mutual friends, but she had signed and like left WWE before I started milling around that scene. So we knew of each other because of that.
Okay.
And then I showed up in AEW first, and she sort of, quite frankly, copied what I did. You know,
she copied.
She doesn't.
Okay.
I'm not going to say she's talentless. I'm going to say her talent is in stealing from other people. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, not really.
It's sort of like a Mozart situation. If you've ever seen Amadeus, which I'm sure everyone in this that's listening to this has seen Amadeus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So she likes to, and I'm not saying she's not helpful. I'm not saying she doesn't add things, but she sort of siphons what I've built up. She says, "Oh, I'll take a piece of that. I'll take a piece of that. Here's my cookbook." That whole routine.
Yeah.
You know?
Is there someone you would rather work with? Like, do you see yourself like kind of phasing her out and moving somebody in?
I really enjoy Tony Schiavone.
So do I.
Yeah. He's got a good head on his shoulders. I think that kid is going to go places.
Yeah. Tony's special.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I never met Renee. Haven't had the pleasure.
But
well, I'm going to put her
let me put it this way. You got the gist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Gal with a mic. Not too much to know there.
I like you guys together. They call themselves the aunties.
Yeah, wrestle ants.
Do
you aunt? You aunt?
I saw aunties online, and I was like,
no, aunties. No, we're not aunties. Wrestle ants.
Why are you an ant?
Because a fan said that.
One fan.
We are like watching wrestling with your two wine-drunk aunts.
Oh, okay. Well, I enjoy the two of you together. I don't agree.
Well, you enjoy me.
I always enjoyed you,
and
but
she's sort of like an abscess on top of me.
She's your sidekick, so to speak.
I would, yeah, sure. In that Ed McMahon way, where you're like, maybe she's just a drunk, you know?
She likes the sauce?
It would explain a lot.
Well,
you know?
I'm with her. I like a good cocktail every once in a while.
Good.
But I never drank on the job. Mm-hmm. Are you trying to say?
No, I think maybe she needs to.
Oh, she needs to. Okay.
You know, some people need to loosen up.
Listen, I like the two of you together. I think she's brilliant, and you're you. So there's that. The one thing I will say that I heard, and stop putting yourself over and just be the straight man for a second, because I do want the real story on this. Yeah. Toni Storm.
Yes.
Okay. She has blown up. She is doing such great things. I'm such a fan. I love the throwback to the 30s, the 40s, whatever it is. And then
she's timeless. She's timeless.
Okay. But then I hear a lot of inspiration came from you. And you would give ideas from older movies because you are an 80-year-old man trapped in a 30-something-year-old body.
Well, that to be true.
I
am an 80-year-old man.
Yes. Forever.
I will say I think there's a lot out there that's a little presented more simpler than it is. I think the real story is a lot more complex. I always throw out ideas when it comes to capturing cinema, that kind of thing. What about this old movie? What about that old movie? So I guess in a sense, I would perhaps have been a cinema consultant in a sense. of helping the crew capture the essence of Toni Storm. In the beginning, I was in a couple of her films. I introduced a few of them.
Right.
And I will take credit, despite what Tony Khan wants to say. I will take credit for getting Ben Mankiewicz involved. Turner Classic Movies, Ben Mankiewicz. That was a me because I said, hello, I'm not Ben Mankiewicz on Dynamite. And then that turned into us being able to work with him, which was the highlight of my life so far.
Of course it was. Well,
But go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what I heard, they credited you for a lot of her character brought onto the screen in a wrestling aspect. It was like RJ has contributed so many different ideas.
I would say taking any credit for Toni Storm is so wrong because she's so fantastic. At this point there's no character. I don't know anything else. But
wait, let me rephrase it. Not taking credit for her performance or her wrestling ability, because we all know how talented she is. It was just the ideas that framed the gimmick, so to speak.
But I would say this: she makes any piece of shit work. Because she's so talented and so committed, and I can come up with dumb ideas all day. I do them every Sunday, but it's her that makes it work. And I honestly have not seen anyone so wrapped up in a whole thing that is unique to themselves since, I don't know, the Undertaker. And she's not doing, half-ass horrible podcasts now. You know what I mean? She's not wearing weird, problematic shirts and being like, wrestling is about telling stories. Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate it. What? I'm saying, what? That show's not weird? He shows weird. The guy's weird. He's a weird man. Back in my day, it was a lot better. When you were, I'm sorry, were you always dead? Did you start off dead? Would you like to explain that? Sorry.
Would you say this to his face?
Yes. I when I did stuff at WWE, my goal was to work my way up to him.
Let's talk about that, because you initially, weren't you supposed to drive people around? Wasn't that the gimmick?
So I worked I wouldn't say at WWE. I worked for them for like a year and a half during the pandemic because I needed people to talk at my computer, which I did. And then I did a comedy special, WrestleMania After Dark, which is, I believe, still on Peacock. Not that I'm getting residuals for it. But it was great. It was so much fun. And I had Ric Flair was on it, Bailey, Shayna Baszler, Kevin Owens, and then I had a little weekly show, which in a sense is a precursor to Hague's. It was a little whatever on the Bump, the morning show they used to have. And it was called the Wednesday Morning Wake Up or something. And then one of my pitches to them was that I would be the chauffeur on the road to WrestleMania.
Right. I remember you telling me about this.
And then after the bottom fell out of that whole operation, I had tweeted about it and that I had pitched that. And immediately Tony Khan messaged me and he said, "You're not working for them anymore?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Do you want to come here and do that and do sit-down interviews?" So, Hay was his idea. He claims to be a sicko, and he is, to unleash me backstage without any sort of notes or oversight. I don't know why he does that, but I thank him for it, certainly.
It's amazing, because if you didn't put that tweet out, you'd be jobless right now.
Right. For all the bad that Twitter has done, and it continues to crater a hole into society, it certainly worked out for me.
It really did. I wouldn't shit on the Undertaker though, because you never know.
What is he going to do? I'm asking questions. I'm asking pretty logical questions here. Were you dead first?
Okay, I can't answer.
Is that why is that bad?
You
I thought we're telling stories here.
We are. Well, we are, but why are you judging his podcast?
Because he says these things and he doesn't back them up. Listen, if the forbidden door is open and he wants to come on AEW, he can say whatever he wants. I'm totally fine with it.
If I'm on
Yeah.
Shoot a question at me off the top of your head.
Oh my!
You're so talented and
Oh.
so witty. Shoot
Okay,
a
she just
question
flipped the
at me.
script.
Let's go.
This is a
And
wonderful
it can't
question.
contain a kendo stick. You can't talk about the stick because that's all he ever throws in my face. He'll send me clips on a text message, me stroking the stick. I'm like, RJ, what does this mean? Why are you sending this to me? Yeah.
Well, I would say I'm going to go back to the story, the Jerry Lynn story now, and I'm going to feel like I'm going to be spoiling it.
It's never going to be used anyway.
Well, so then we'll do it.
Your chance.
Well, you said that one of Jerry Lynn's roles was he was your camel toe watcher.
Yes, because we were such good friends and still are to this day. Yeah. I just talked to him yesterday, for God's sakes. We still keep in touch.
Yeah.
And I would put on my clothes. And if I wore pants or shorts, Jerry was the guy to go to ask if I had camel toe.
So my question would be,
like that.
Who's watching it now? Or do you just let it ride?
My camel toe?
Yeah.
Oh, like when I'm at shows and stuff?
Or around the house?
Well, my husband's here.
Yeah. But I'm saying, does he
look at my camel toe all day? I don't care. It's when I'm in front of the camera.
You prefer it, is what you're saying.
No, I don't prefer it in front of a camera. It's okay at home.
Yeah. Is it okay at home?
It sure is.
Okay.
If I want it to be.
If you want, do you want it to be? I guess it's my question. Because you were so anti-camel toe in your youth.
I was anti-camel toe if I was on pay-per-view or
right. You wanted to class up the joint a little. I understand.
To be demure and look presentable.
Yes. I watch Anarchy Rules, and I would say, how demure.
Okay, you're just pulling that out of the air. You have no idea what I wore on Anarchy Rules.
I want to know. What did she wear? Chad, can you look this up?
Anarchy Rules, isn't that the underboob? We just talked about that.
Let's not. No, we're not talking about that. Anyway, that was a
underboob
question. If I was on Hey and you brought that up, I'd be like something better. Be more.
That's a good question. A camel toe question is a good question.
That's a shit question. Anyway, I am so glad that you came on again because I know it's so repetitious and you do so many podcasts and now, you were here the last time, but now you're here.
Right.
So doing something for like small potatoes like myself.
Yes. Really supporting a local business.
I'm like your local indie podcast.
Yes.
So to speak. So I appreciate talent of your caliber coming on to my show.
I'm so happy to get back to my roots here.
Do you miss wrestling? Do you miss getting in there and grappling and donning?
I would say when I started at AEW, they are very open in terms of they were like, you can work the indies if you want. And I worked like a handful of shows. And I really realized that if I could just have a match and then have the 5 minutes afterwards, then I would be happy and then I would miss it. Everything else drove me insane and made it not worth it. I don't want to sit on the phone with the promoter for an hour.
Yeah.
It's not interesting. I don't want to hear about your 6-month plans. Yeah. I don't care. I don't want to shake every dirty hand when I walk into the building. Yeah. It drives me insane. If I could just have a match and then be left and then leave. If I could just get into the car and leave, I would be happy. But I will also say I feel like I am of much better use in this regard. I don't know how I would be able to get this idiocy out in a normal way on a wrestling show.
So that promoter who calls you and lays out that 6-month plan of you getting the strap in 6 months down the line, you just have to keep coming back for 6 months and then you're not into it. It's not.
No, I don't want to listen to you breathe on the phone.
Yeah. How about the match that I was supposed to come out to Canada for and work with you? That's never going to happen.
Yes, I will say, and I will shout the match.
Will I bring you back into the business if I say yes?
Yes. Greektown Wrestling has tried to book you multiple times. The owner is a huge ECW fan. They book I'm surprised they haven't booked Chili Willy yet. Like that's how many.
He's not even in the States. He's like,
you got to go. Yeah.
yeah, he's like
Philippines.
in Zimbabwe or something.
If you have any contact with him, can you just tell him anytime I've mentioned Chili Willy, somebody like in AEW would be like, I love that guy.
I love Chili Willy.
Yeah, he was like the deep cut. No, sure. If you actually did a show, I would go. Would I wrestle? I'd probably not. Yeah. Would I do a promo? Sure. Yeah, now I don't need to wrestle. Now I'm like, what's the point?
You're saving your body. You know? You're being
super. What am I going to do? I can chain. I just don't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're smart.
There's also people are always like, hey, when are you going to get in the ring for AEW? I'm like, these are the greatest wrestlers in the world.
You can't hang?
I'm fine with not hanging. What kind of, narcissistic, demented mind would I have to watch Wrestle Dream and go, I can do that. I can contribute to this.
Well, you have contributed. Although not in a athletic capacity.
Right.
Like everyone else. But you are doing such a good job. I'm not just saying that. I've texted you multiple times and told you that you're killing it and you're very enjoyable.
You've given me vague motivational comments. Crushing it.
Look, what do you want me to do? Write an essay? More?
I'm saying you're killing it. Everybody kills it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're killing it. Yeah, you nailed it.
Listen, I don't talk to everybody.
Right.
I'm friends with a handful of people there in AEW. You're one of them. So,
who else? Me, Jerry. Who else?
You and Jerry. Who am I friendly with there? I mean, I'm friendly with people. If I see them at conventions, I say hi.
Yes.
And talk to them a little bit. Like Big Bill, I always say hi.
Big Bill, another great episode of Hey.
Yeah.
He's so smart.
He was fun to watch. Oh, one of my favorites was Will.
Which Will? Will Ospreay was like, oh my God.
Sometimes one of my favorite episodes.
I go in because also, a lot of times they're doing it on show days. A lot of people have matches after this. And it's like, I want to make it so you could phone this in if you really want to.
Yeah.
So I always think worst case scenario. And then Will Ospreay opens his mouth. And a lot of times, I'm really having my first conversation ever with these people. John Moxley, certainly, the only time we have spoken was what is on camera.
About his wife.
Right.
I wouldn't talk to you.
It's not the best. It's not the best idea. Whatever.
Yes, really.
So yeah, it's always like a weird blind date in a way.
Yeah. But the chemistry, like I said, most of the people you have really, really good chemistry, and the couple few that are just like looking at you, it just makes it to be funny.
Sure, they can't all be winners.
No, but it puts you over even more because then you get to be your quirky, weird,
Right.
character.
I think it'll ultimately, you see another side of the talent just because they are suffering.
Okay. Well, it's enjoyable. And believe it or not, I am proud of you, and I think you're doing a really good job. I'm glad you landed where you did, and I'm glad you put that tweet out because, this is your.
Because I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
You're killing it.
It was alive, and now it's dead because I killed it.
You've resurrected it, and it's it's like it's like they should use you on the picture with the AEW in stone, and it's like you're pushing it up because you saved the company.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the Atlas.
You are. Mount Rushmore is just RJ 4 times. The AEW.
You know who I will also credit a lot for opening doors, culturally speaking, in wrestling is Blue Meanie. Because he did so much comedy stuff in wrestling where it was not done before him. The BWO, all those parodies in real time. I mean, to parody, now everyone can make fun of the NWO because it's been so long, but then to parody it while it was happening and the hottest thing was so like, oh my God, this is such a great, you didn't realize those kind of things were possible in wrestling.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, Meanie has made some tremendous pieces of shit too. He's not cranking out all the homers, and he knows that.
Wow. Okay.
And I find him inspiring. He always comes in on the underwear chat all the time.
Yes. And you know who else I'm friendly with and always comes to say hi to me is Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
Always comes to say hello to me.
Yeah.
He's
America's friend.
He's really he's a good man. I'm a big fan
He's
of him.
A great man.
Big fan of Lois. Yes. I mean,
that poor woman. I met Lois.
Did you? Is she lovely?
Yeah. She's a delight.
Yes, I'm sure she is. But what are you saying? Who are your friends? Like, I have no friends.
What your friends are? What's wrong with that? I'm your friend.
People.
And you said I have some friends at AEW. What are they?
My closest friend in AEW is Jerry Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
He's been my friend for 30 years. I mean, he's my closest friend. But I know people who work there that I see I say hi to. A handful of the girls, they're lovely. I'm just happy for everyone. And when I see
Don Callis,
yes.
Right.
He's a friend. I don't see him very often, but
No, he's not a let's get a coffee kind of guy.
No, but when I see him, it's all love.
Sure.
Act like I don't.
Some people are friends. You're friends with some people, and not you specifically, but some people you're able to be friends with them because you're at a distance.
Well, it's because we were colleagues.
Yeah.
And then you get that friendship going. But there's some that I'm closer with than others. So, but I'll tell you, if I see them, a hug, a kiss, how you doing? A couple words. It's nice.
Yeah. Well, you're affable. You're very affable.
Well, you're very charming, despite this hard exterior that I'm seeing, which, I don't know if AEW is tarnishing you or whatever, but, let's just.
They've ruined my image.
Let's just remember where you come from. Remember where you came from, okay?
I'd get my humble beginning.
Don't forget that. But I'm super happy for you. Seriously.
Well,
I hope you continue to do great things. And, if we ever see each other again, I'm coming on the coffee show because
I would love it. I wonder if I think I can get you on. Hey, he's opened the door before. We had David Arquette on.
I know. I questioned that to you.
Yeah. We had RVD on. We talked about orgies.
Well,
orgy etiquette.
Yeah, but RVD came in for a couple shots.
Right. You got to get booked. Roll around. Put on a hood and wrestle a dark match.
Maybe one day, here's what we might do. Maybe one day, Jerry always invites me. And you
never come.
I never come. No. Because I don't like traveling by myself. And I can't go. My kids aren't into wrestling, so I wouldn't take them.
And can I say, good for them.
Yeah. They don't like it. They don't, and they don't even put me over to watch it. They're like,
why should they?
Because they don't want to see their mom get hurt, which it's very endearing. I like that because I got the shit knocked out of me a lot, but that's okay. But so my husband would have to stay and watch the kids, so then I have to go alone. Do I really want to go alone? No, not really. But if I can come one of these days, I'll sit ringside. You guys can put me over. Just by putting the camera on me, I'll do my little wave, and then maybe I can do hey.
I think it would be nice.
We can try. One can dream.
I think it would be really nice.
I think I'll make that my goal for 2025.
Can I tell you something? Good for you for setting attainable goals.
My goal.
Yeah. Not too unreasonable.
Listen, I can be all elite for like a day.
I don't even have a graphic. I'm not even all elite.
I'll just make my own.
Yeah.
I'll just have Chad make a graphic for me.
I would say
one day only. One day only. How great would that be?
That would be great. I would say I'm about 40% elite.
40%? No, I'd say you're about 67.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're moving on. But if we see each other at a convention, we can always shoot one. Doesn't have to be professional, right?
No, it's never professional.
Yeah, we could just shoot it, and then if he wants to use it, hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
really good. Yeah, real strong branding you've got there.
Thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
So this is my issue here with the plugs. You're the host.
Yeah.
You've got a pen. You have a paper. Why aren't you plugging? If I go on, let's say Dick Cavett, I would, if you were a guest on my show, I would say the podcast is Eyes Up Here. And I've been talking with Francine. I would be handling your plugs.
I let the guest plug all their stuff.
Because you don't want to do the work.
No, it's not that. I don't want to do the work. I brought up hell.
What else is there? What else is there?
I talked about that. I talked about everything that I
Okay.
read. Coffee.
All right.
I have coffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you circle? What's got the circle there?
Coffee.
I had to write that down.
Doing coffee. See?
I want to make sure I get to this. That's like a real Larry King level.
Important.
What do I have written here? I have coffee. I want to talk about coffee.
This interview was like one of the best that you've ever done in your life.
Yeah. We're coming to New Jersey, you know.
When? When are you?
Full Gear. When's Full Gear? Chad, help me.
Look, I'm going to be on a pay-per-view.
Full Gear. I don't have it in front of me.
Full Gear.
Wow. That would be really nice if you guys, you know.
Is it in 2025?
Full Gear 2024. It's in November.
I can edit
Saturday,
it.
November 23rd.
Ask that again. No, I was gonna say ask it again, and I'll pull it up.
November 23rd. Text me. Maybe.
This is a pay-per-view. It's at the Prudential Center.
Yes.
This isn't like my cousin's christening. Text me. This is very accessible information.
What does that mean?
You want me to send you an Evite?
Can't I go to the window and say, "Oh, I'm RJ City's guest"?
Yes. You're my +1. I'm giving a +1 every pay-per-view.
Look, I'm not the type of gal who wants to come backstage and rub elbows with everyone. I would go to my seat and just sit there, unless I have the opportunity to be on Hey, and then I would say, "Hey, I get to go back there." But no, what?
Can I interject, please? Yes. AEW Full Gear, November 23rd, 2024, from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey.
Newark's not a good neighborhood.
Don't say that.
No wrestling show is in a good neighborhood because there's wrestling fans there.
I should say parts.
Wow. Thanks for handling my plug.
Take the train. Get there. It'll be nice and easy.
Are you kidding? I do not.
New Jersey Transy. Get there in 2 seconds.
I do not take public transportation. Maybe can I bring a +1?
Sure.
If I can get a friend to come with me, maybe I'll come see you. Would you acknowledge me that night?
Absolutely. And it would be you and Chili Willy, you're saying?
No, he's in like Antigua or something. Yeah, I can't get a hold of him. Yeah.
Fascinated about this.
Text me because I'm booked 3 weekends in November. I don't know if that's
right. Yeah, okay.
Are you going to WrestleCade?
Maybe. When's that?
That's Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh no, I'll probably do like the con, not the cade.
Oh, that's in Vegas.
Yeah. Schlep around Vegas. Gotta inhale air conditioning, secondhand smoke.
We talked before the Philly con and said, "Oh, we're gonna see each other," and then you never even saw me. Yeah,
nothing.
Whose fault was that?
Because it was like 3 levels.
Oh my God, you're such an old geezer. It's ridiculous.
I'm stuck behind Danny Doring.
I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
How devastated I was.
Well, you're gonna have your chance.
Maybe Vegas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, text me the info for Jersey.
I'm going to text you that and the All in the Family episode.
And I'm not coming, but I'll pretend.
Great. Thanks.
No, maybe I will. Maybe I can find somebody to go with. I just don't like to go by myself.
No.
And you know what? The other thing is I don't want people thinking I want a job because I so don't.
Let me tell you something. You walk in that building, I will point at you and I will say, do not hire this woman. No matter what you do.
Shit.
Don't give her a dime. Don't give her a plug. Don't give her anything.
That's fine. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking to be entertained. And that's why I watch you.
Yeah. Thank you. Really wrapped it up nice.
Well, if you have no plugs, I gave you an opportunity.
Well, I tried to, and then you just shit all over Newark.
Everything. No, I didn't. I said parts were really bad. All right. What is the pay-per-view? Full what? Contact?
Full Gear.
Full Gear.
Full Gear. November 23rd.
That's the next one?
Yes.
It seems like you guys have a pay-per-view every week, and now I have to wait a month?
Yes, it's going to be there's a little lull here in a good way. The last one was Wrestle Dream, and we got, 6 weeks maybe?
Yeah, it's a while. Okay. I'm not knocking it. I think it's great.
But we're on TV every Wednesday. Dynamite's every Wednesday.
Okay.
Rampage is Friday. Collision is Saturday. And at 7 a.m. Eastern at the crack of dawn, Sunday mornings.
Hey,
On youtube.com/AEW is HeyW, despite my best efforts.
What night are you on? Are you on any of the weekly shows?
I'm on none of them. I come out and I sing the national anthem before they start the show.
You do not. Get out of here. All right. You were a delight as always.
Okay. I'll text you.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks.
Let's FaceTime and watch John Ritter sometime.
I would love to.
Let's do that. It's a date.
Yes.
All right. Everybody, RJ City, go watch him. Hey, coffee. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, doll. I'll talk to you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye. Get off my screen already. He is so friggin' sarcastic. I'm going to text him right now. You are the worst. Was that fun?
That was fun. I wish we did more of the sitcom talk.
Yeah. Well, then I wouldn't have been able to talk to him about him.
I know, but the sitcoms.
He knows all the secrets of Don Knotts and
the Don Knotts, the Norman
God.
Fell,
Norman
the
Fell
drama
is my
behind
favorite.
Three's Company.
Anyway.
The Ropers and the jizz spot on the logo of the Ropers
do you think
television.
Do you think he's jealous of Renee?
I mean, I can't speculate. I can't speculate.
I don't know what that is. They have such a great dynamic. I think it was all a ruse.
I swear, my favorite line was how he. The line about the interview shows was my favorite line of this entire episode.
What did he say? I don't even
know.
How
he's been on so many of the bad interview shows on the podcast. That tickled me like you would not believe. I love that. That just made me feel so good.
He's a trip. He is a character. I'm exhausted. All right. You got anything you want to promote?
Just Chatty and B on X and IB exclusives on Instagram. Mm-hmm. All the latest for Eyes Up Here will be on that social media. All the sharing I do from the Queen of Extreme and everything coming from our great YouTube channel. But I'll let you give the big old grand plug for that one.
Yeah, YouTube. I don't know what's going on again. If you're not getting notifications, please let us know. Some people say they are, some people say they're not. It's ECW Diva Francine with an exclamation point. Subscriptions are free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get the notifications. And if you want to be a channel member, it's only $5.99 for the month. You will get exclusive content that cannot be seen as a regular subscriber. So go on and check that out. If you're not following me on iHeartRadio or subscribed on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, please go and do so. That is also free and it does help out. And let us know what you want to see next. If there's any guests you want us to put on, drop me a comment. Let me know. I will say really quickly, Rhode Island Comic Con is November 1st to the 3rd of 2024. We have the big event November 9th of 2024. And we also have WrestleCade weekend, which is November 29th to December 1st of this year, 2024. Come on out and see me. I would love to talk to you. And RJ's texting me like a madman right now.
blowing you up like
yes, I will get to him in a minute.
Like Mr. Roper cleaning out the toilet.
Mr. Roper. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy. And most of all, I hope you're staying extreme.